So few years back, only 32-bit machines were there, 32-bit operating system were there. But now we have 64-bit. So there is always a confusion that whether 32-bit will run on 64-bit, whether 64-bit will hold that operating system of 32-bit, or any software which can be run on any of these or transferred. What is the problem if 32-bit is not running on 64-bit? So all these questions we are going to see today, how to get a clear idea what these distinction is. So as the number of bit increases, we have certain benefits. Means if we have more bits, then the data which can be processed, these are in larger chunks or larger pieces, which also means they are more accurate. So as more bit means our system can point to or address a larger number of locations in physical memory, right? Previously, let me give you an example. The 32-bit systems could address, or you can say, points to indicates 4 gigabytes of memory in one go. That is 2 to the power 32, right? But 64-bit systems, they are now becoming more attractive. Why? Because they can potentially address up to 4 billion times that many locations. That is, it will be the order of 2 to the power 64. So what is 32 bits? As we see in x86, you'll see in your system that computers, OS and software programs, they are capable of transferring data 32 bits at a time. That is, at a time you are able to transfer 32 bits. With computer processor, for example, 386, 486, and then came the Pentium. They were 32-bit processors. What do we mean by this? That the processor were capable of working with 32-bit binary numbers. That is 2 to the power 32. That means 2 raised to the power 32, 4, 2, 9, 4, 9, 6, 7, 2, 9, 4. This is the number which comes up. So anything which is larger than, and the computer would have to break up, means need to break up the number of data which is coming into smaller pieces or chunks. For example, we had Windows 95, Windows 2000, etc. Then came 64-bit. So replacement of this x86, or in general term we know it as 32-bit platform. 64-bit is a computer or a software program now which has the capability of transferring 64 bits at a time. And if we talk in reference of hardware, 64-bit is referencing the width of the register on a computer microprocessor or the computer bus, right? The bus, because the bus will be carrying the data, and where it is going to be handled, it will be going to be handled in microprocessor where you have registers, which is sometimes called as WOW, WOW64 or X64. So what are the examples of these 64-bit processors? We have MDA, AMD or MD, Optron, Athlon 64, Turion 64, Semtron, Phenom, FX and Fusion, right? While this Intel Celeron and Pentium 4 processor, since Prescott, right? Since Prescott version, we have this 64-bit. And Intel Pentium dual core, Core i3, Core i7, Core i5, these are all in this category only. Let us go inside the computer, which can be divided into 3 layers. What are these 3 layers? First of all, you have processor. Then above it, the layer is of operating system. Then on the outermost layer will be your applications. So there are 3 layers. So to run a 64-bit OS, I'm talking about this green covering. So if you are willing to run a 64-bit OS, you need to support from the lower level, that is your 64-bit CPU. You cannot have a 64-bit OS on a 32-bit machine. Can you have? So to run a 64-bit application, you also need support from all lower levels, Means if you want to run a 64-bit application, you ought to have a 64-bit OS and also a 64-bit processor. So what 32-bit and 64 combinations are compatible and will work together? Let us see. This is often asked question, and this is where our confusion will be removed. So what is compatible if I have a 32-bit CPU? Right, those people who are having a 32-bit CPU, let us see. What will be the processor? 32-bit, 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 32-bit. Right, OS 32-bit, 32-bit. If you have a 64-bit OS on a 32-bit, no. If you want to have an OS 64-bit on a 32-bit, no. But you can have a 32-bit processor and 32-bit CPU, that is actually CPU, and you can run your 32-bit program on a 32-bit machine, which is actually which is holding a 32-bit OS, right? So if you want application program of 64-bit to run on 32-bit machine which is holding a operating system 32-bit, this will not be possible. But if you have a 64-bit CPU, then if you have a processor of 64-bit, you have a OS of 64-bit, you can run a 64-bit application program. This is all fine. You have a 64-bit CPU holding a operating system of 64-bit, then you can also run a 32-bit, means previous version you can run. But all 32 bits can be run on 64-bit and 64-bit OS and processor. While if you have a 64-bit machine, you can always have 32-bit operating system on 64-bit machine. There is no problem. It is not a requirement. It is not mandatory that if you have a processor of 64-bit, you ought to have, or this is necessarily for you to have a operating system of 32-bit. It is not required. You can have 32-bit on a 64-bit and you can run a 32-bit application program. Then if you have a processor of 64-bit, then you load a 32-bit operating system and now you wish to run a 64-bit application program. Sorry, it will not be possible. So the main reason that this 32-bit will always run on a 64-bit is that this 64-bit component have been designed to work that way for back compatibility. So the newer 64-bit system are backward compatible with the 32-bit system, which is the main reason most of us haven't moved to our 64-bit software. Now let us see some virtualization. What is this virtualization? What is compatible if I have a 32-bit CPU and a software virtualization? Means I want to virtualize more software. Virtualize means make this OS or processor understand that what we don't have. Okay, making them understand. So how it is possible? If my processor is 32-bit, I have a host operating system 32-bit, guest operating system application program. So this host operating system is in between, which is providing virtualization. So this is possible, yes. But for 32-bit, 32-bit, no 64, nowhere. 32-bit, 64-bit, guest operating system, nowhere. 32-bit, 64, never possible. But what is compatible if I have a 64-bit CPU and a software virtualization? I have a 64-bit. I have a host operating system either 32 and 64-bit, means it will be 32 and 64, both operating system is going to support. And if I have a guest operating system over it as 64-bit, then my application program will run. Similarly, my 32-bit will also run. And if I have a 32-bit guest operating system on a host operating system, which is actually 64-bit on a 64-bit, then I may be able to run 32-bit. But if I have a 64-bit processor and I install a host operating system or host operating system which is providing the virtualization, and over which I try to install 32-bit guest operating system, then my application program, if it is at all 64-bit, it is not going to run. So there are basic questions about 32-bit and 64-bit systems. Let us understand them. So will a 64-bit CPU run a 32-bit program on a 64-bit version of an OS? Yes. 64 systems actually they are backward compatible, as we have just seen, with their 32-bit counterparts. So this will be possible. The other question will be, will a 64-bit OS running on a 32-bit application which on a 64-bit processor? Yes. Again, this is because of backward compatibility. Now, can 32-bit application contain 32-bit code? Is it possible? Yes. Why? Many times this 64-bit software will contain portions of 32-bit. So your software may contain 64-bit component and 32-bit component together. Also, this 32-bit software, which were old programs, can have some code in 16-bit. 64 can have 32, 32 can have 16-bit. Which is why those 32-bit applications will usually fail to run properly on a 64-bit OS. That may be a case. Then we have a question, can this 16-bit application or code run on a 64-bit systems? No. 16-bit code will not run on 64-bit OS since the designers did not provide backward compatibility with their 16-bit code. They have provided for 32-bit, not for 16-bit. Then, can a 64-bit CPU with a 32-bit host OS run on a virtual machine for a 64-bit guest OS? Yes, we have just seen. It all depends on the level of virtualization. We have seen that here. Okay. So with software virtualization, it is hardly likely to work, or if it does work, it may be very slow. And hardware virtualization will need to be supported by a CPU and the BIOS, basic input-output system. And what about Windows, 32-bit and 64-bit Windows? Can I run Windows 2000 and Windows XP on a 64-bit CPU and use your old software? Yes. 32-bit OS will run on a 64-bit processor. You should also be able to run older 32-bit software on a 64-bit OS because of backward compatibility that has been provided by the systems. And how do I find if my system is 64-bit? It's very simple. Go to my computer, right click, say the properties, and just go to, you'll see, it's in between. It's clearly in the middle of your screen. It will be showing you 32-bit or 64-bit OS. So this is another question, will my old device driver work on Windows 64-bit? This is a very important question. Many device drivers that work in Windows 32-bit will not work in Windows 64-bit. This is important. So how do I run 32-bit software once I have installed 64-bit Windows? How can I do that? This Windows 64-bit, they provide a 32-bit compatibility mode, which is called as WOW32. That is Windows 32-bit on Windows 64-bit. WOW, W-O-W, Windows on Windows. That should run most, if not all, your applications. Don't worry, because some may not be working. But 32-bit Windows applications are not automatically Windows 64-bit compatible. So we have seen various reasons for that, because they may have 16-bit code inherently. How can I tell my application is 32-bit or 64-bit? Windows actually install a program to some folders on your operating system, like program files. This will be for 64-bit programs, and if it is inside x86, that will be 32-bit program. And you can also go to Task Manager. 32-bit processors will usually have a suffix of 32, and 64-bit processor will not have like this. And as I indicated earlier, that AMD 64 is a 64-bit system. So the architecture, as we have in this AMD 64, we have register extension. That means 8 additional GPRs, so general purpose registers, and all 16 GPRs are 64-bit wide. And also that we have 8 additional YMM and XMM register, and we also have a uniform byte register addressing to all these GPRs. Right? We'll see just now in a figure. And all instruction prefix REX accesses the extended register. We also have a long mode, that is we have up to 64-bit of virtual addresses, 64-bit instruction pointer RIP, and an instruction pointer relative data address or addressing mode. Also we have flat address space. So this is all. This is GPRs. This is 64-bit media and floating point register. This is SSE media register. As you can see, then this is 64-bit. All these are, this instruction pointer is also 64. Flag register is also 64. So these are actually legacy x86 registers, which is supported in all modes, while these are register extensions and they are supported only in 64-bit. And operating modes are, you have long mode and legacy mode. For 64-bit mode, you have also a compatibility mode, which you want to run 32-bit systems, and in this legacy mode you have three protected mode: virtual, 8086 mode, and real mode. And the operating system which you require on this is 64-bit OS. Here you have legacy 32-bit OS, and for this you have legacy 16-bit OS. And for OS and release support, that this x86 and 64 architecture, in long mode you have all this, right from Dragonfly BSD to Windows. So hope you got a bit idea about this 32-bit and 64-bit. Various questions we have asked and try to solve them, and I hope there'll be no problem when you deal with now your 32-bit application or OS or processor in different modes. Thank you so much.